What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, October 11th, 2024, and I have an emergency update to share with you guys. Right now, it is 26 minutes after midnight in the Eastern time zone of the United States, and I wanted to update you guys on the situation in the Middle East and in Eastern Europe. But before I do that, I want to mention that we are in the middle of a severe geomagnetic storm. There was a coronal mass ejection 2 days ago, and the auroras are really bright tonight. I saw two really strong auroras this evening and tonight, and we still have a few more hours to go before this storm winds down for the night, so you still may be able to see some vivid auroras tonight. So go outside and look towards the north. It does appear that this storm is very, very strong, and there have been some effects on GPS and communication systems, radios, and cell phones. Want to just update you guys on the situation between Israel and Iran. So Israeli media is reporting that the Israeli Security Cabinet approved Israel's response plan to Iran. According to estimates, the reaction against Iran will not come before Yom Kippur, which is Friday and Saturday, and an Israeli source said that the decision regarding the attack has been made, and the Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense and the Chief of Staff all agreed on the response. Okay, so the response is basically in the works. They've already agreed on it, how they're going to do it, when they're going to do it, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen until after Yom Kippur. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see, because Israel fought a war on Yom Kippur, okay? The Yom Kippur War, you can look it up. That was in the early 70s, okay? Critical war for Israel. So, the holiday doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to strike. We'll have to wait and see. And Yoav Gallant, the defense minister of Israel, said yesterday that, quote, everything is on the table when asked by Fox News reporter Trey Inkst if Israel would strike nuclear and oil sites. Wow. And an F-15 squadron has arrived in the Middle East. This was posted by U.S. Central Command on Twitter. You can see here they wrote U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagles from the 389th Fighter Squadron, Mountain Home Air Force Base, Idaho, arrive in the U.S. Central Command area of responsibility. This is very concerning. It means that something is about to go down. Guys, F-15s are strike fighters, okay? They're fighter jets, but they're designed for deep strike missions. That's what they were designed for, okay? They can fly super fast. They can penetrate enemy air defenses and deliver ordnance on the enemy and then leave the enemy airspace, okay? That's what they were made for. They're not your traditional fighter jet like an F-16. They're not really made for dogfighting or, aerial combat. That's not their mission, okay? They were designed for deep strike roles, and now they actually use these for delivering tactical nuclear weapons, okay? The F-15E Strike Eagle has a primary mission now for delivering tactical nuclear weapons, okay? So this is a very, very serious situation if they're moving squadrons of F-15s now into the Middle East, and they're already there. They just arrived. And we did have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert on Thursday. Here you can see two nuclear war command and control planes, a nuclear bomber, a B-52 over Louisiana, and a Cobra Ball missile detecting and tracking plane over North Dakota, and a nuke sniffer up in the air over Nebraska. So our nuclear forces are still on very high alert. And we also had a lot of activity in the Eastern Mediterranean around Crete yesterday. Here you can see 2 reconnaissance planes near Crete. Okay, one NATO AWACS plane and then a French reconnaissance plane or AWACS plane. This is a sign that NATO is very active here in Crete and in Cyprus. And these reconnaissance planes are basically part of force protection measures. Okay, they're scanning the area here all around Crete, which is where we have a lot of our hardware, a lot of our military equipment there. Okay, they're scanning this whole area for threats. Okay, it's part of force protection. They normally do not do this. Okay, so this is another sign that the U.S. is gearing up for something big. Okay, also last night we had several of these Turkish Bayraktar TB2 drones that were patrolling the Turkish border, one near the border with Iran, one near the border with Iraq, and one near the border with Syria. This is not common at all. Okay, so Turkey is now on high alert for something as well. And the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, is going to meet leaders from the US, France, and Germany in Berlin this weekend to discuss the conflicts in both Ukraine and the Middle East, according to a UK government spokesperson. And a conversation between Jake Sullivan, the U.S. National Security Advisor, and the Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs took place before the phone call with Biden and Netanyahu, which was on Wednesday. So the national security advisors of the U.S. and Israel talking on the phone. And the Israeli military breached sections of the Lebanon border fence at unexpected spots to surprise Hezbollah yesterday, enabling forces to directly enter Lebanese villages. IDF forces in Lebanon continue to uncover massive stockpiles of weapons near the Israeli border. And the Russian embassy in Iran said, quote, "Due to the escalating situation around Iran linked to the possibility of a retaliatory strike by Israel on various targets in the country, the embassy advises Russian citizens in Iran to strictly follow safety measures." Okay, so Russian embassy in Iran telling Russians to leave Iran and make preparations. And Iran is threatening in secret diplomatic back channels to target the oil-rich Arab Gulf states and other American allies in the Middle East if their territories or airspace are used for an attack on Iran, Arab officials tell the Wall Street Journal. Arab officials said the countries that Iran has threatened include Jordan, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, all of which host U.S. troops. These states have told the Biden administration that they don't want their military infrastructure or airspace to be used by the U.S. or Israel for any offensive operations against Iran, the officials said. Okay, wow. Very serious situation there. And Iran's UN envoy said, quote, "We do not seek war, but we are ready to defend our sovereignty against any aggression against our country and interests. We will exercise our natural right to self-defense in accordance with international law against any aggression. Israel is a threat to international peace, and its aggressive actions are leading the region into a comprehensive war." Wow. And 300 UN peacekeepers will retreat from southern Lebanon. Wanted to just update you guys on this ICBM test that took place in late September. China launched an ICBM. So we have some details about how far this thing flew. So you can see here it was launched from southern China near Hainan. It flew very close to the Philippines. It flew near Guam. And then it landed in the exclusive economic zone of Kiribati, less than 200 nautical miles from the Caroline Island Atoll. Okay, so very long distance here. This is extremely concerning, guys. China is now stepping up their capabilities, and NATO is going to start large-scale tactical nuclear exercises in 4 days. NATO's large nuclear exercises will start on October 14th. During these exercises, participating countries will practice the use of tactical nuclear weapons, demonstrating readiness to respond decisively to any threats. According to the Allies, these exercises send a clear message to adversaries that NATO is prepared to use nuclear force if necessary to defend its security. And Russia violated the no-fly zone around the Pivdeno-Ukrainsk nuclear power plant with drones. State-owned nuclear power company Energoatom said the number of violations has increased drastically recently, which may indicate that Russia is preparing for strikes on Ukrainian nuclear infrastructure. Wow. And we know that winter is coming soon, so if Russia took out the Ukrainian nuclear power plants, then Ukraine would really have trouble. They wouldn't have any way of generating electricity because most of their other power plants and their thermal power plants were destroyed already. And North Korean troops are helping Russia launch KN-23 missiles, according to the UK Guardian. Dozens of North Koreans are reportedly working with the Russians to service KN-23 missile launchers. Wow. And remember, just about a week ago, Ukraine struck a facility where a bunch of North Korean troops were killed in eastern Ukraine. And the UK may send troops to Ukraine to train soldiers in secluded locations to help Ukraine's recruitment efforts, according to the Times of the UK. Wow. And Ukraine is not considering a ceasefire in exchange for security guarantees from the West, according to Zelensky. He said, "This is not the topic of our discussions. No truces. We did not want to talk about it." Wow. Here we have a picture from this ICBM test by China last month. Okay, just a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and want to just show you guys the latest update from NOAA about this aurora and the geomagnetic storm. So from what I understand, we have already reached G5 levels. G5 is the strongest type of geomagnetic storm. Okay, we were supposed to be at G4, but I do believe we did reach G5. And like I said, if you're still up, you should be able to see some more auroras the rest of the night. This is a historic event. I'm already seeing pictures coming in on social media of auroras as far south as Florida, the Florida Keys. Okay, so I hope you guys get a chance to see the aurora. I will be posting pictures from my area tomorrow in the community tab, or actually later today, and I'll keep you guys updated on the situation in the Middle East. It does appear that this war is about to kick off. It does appear that Israel is going to go big, okay, because Israel knows that regardless of how big they strike, if it's a small strike or a big strike, Iran is going to retaliate regardless. So it looks like they're going to go big, and they're going to take the nuclear sites and possibly take out the Ayatollah Khamenei, the leader of Iran. Okay, so I'm going to be covering it live when it happens. Okay, so make sure you have your notifications turned on. Also, follow me on Telegram and Twitter. The links to my Telegram and Twitter are in the description below this video. I always post everything over there in case you don't get notified from YouTube. You can still get the notifications from Telegram and Twitter. Okay, but when this all kicks off, I will be going live as long as necessary to keep you guys updated in real time, as I always do. So until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Culinary out. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a discount on their 1 month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. This is a 1 month freeze dried food supply. It has a 25-year shelf life. Normal price is $237. They've dropped it down to $177. So that's a savings of $60. And it's all packed within 2 rugged, water resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. $177 for 1 month of food. Where are you going to find a deal like that? So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $60 off the My Patriot Supply 1 month emergency food supply. That's $180 for 1 month of food. Free shipping included. The link is in the description below this video.